Yeah, this OpenAI one is interesting.
Yeah. I
Yeah.
think I mean I told my team like this is one of the rare cybersecurity articles that will probably people in your personal life will probably ask you about it. Like it's intrusive in that way of like, did this really happen? What happened?
Yeah.
Um,
Yeah. Because ChatGPT is surprisingly decent with just doing what you tell it to do. Like for the course we're doing at Black Hat, we have like a playbook for the attack that is performed. So I think at one point, one of us just handed it to Soul and said, "Don't stop until you figure this out." And it started uh, going on until he got
That's a
beacons.
teacher's command.
It's in a lab. It's in a lab. So eventually it got a bunch of Cobalt Strike sessions, and I was like,
Dang.
okay, good job.
Have you
little guy."
actually, yeah, if you use Soul with a goal, it will just like it will go for like a week.
Yeah.
It's like the original codex was like way too like just like shit its pants if it's
Right.
I'm so sorry for cussing. Are we allowed to cuss,
That's
by the
okay.
way?
I smell like a sailor.
okay.
You're fine.
So
You're
so
fine.
the official policy is every swear is $5 to the EFF. So yes.
Okay.
We have a swear jar, a legit
Yes.
swear jar.
Okay.
I know. I bought it for John.
Excellent.
Which
I
Black
will
Hills
build-
pays the bill, so you know you're good.
Right.
Fantastic. Fun. That's fucking awesome. So, I'm kidding. It's like Codex is way too like this. It would be so concerned about ever like stepping out of line, and then they've like switched something, and now you give it a goal, and it'll just go to like
Yeah. And now it hacks Hugging
APT
Face.
level. Yeah, it's like
Yeah,
dude, the
whoops.
control you went like 0 to 100 literally.
Right.
NVIDIA just published a blog about AI safety partners.
Yeah. Apparently,
Yeah.
like a lot of people have signed that letter, namely not Anthropic, which
I was
is
going to
very
say
funny
not
to me.
Anthropic and not OpenAI. They're like,
I think
nah.
OpenAI
Yeah.
did, didn't they?
Wait, really? I don't see
I-
them on this.
I thought I saw them this morning when I looked on.
Somebody had a letter.
Microsoft did,
No.
so their parents. Dad, can I be in the OpenAI Security Alliance? Absolutely not, son.
After you eat your dinner.
After you eat
Only if you eat your vegetables.
after you eat another random company that just caught a
Right.
stray in the in the Pacheek.
Right. I mean, did it solve the benchmark? That was
I
the
do
goal,
like that
right?
it decided to cheat. It was like, I'm going to cheat. I don't want to actually solve it. I just want the answer key. I'm going after it.
Kind of based, honestly.
Yeah. One of the things that I thought was really interesting is the like take I heard is like AI models are very patient, way more patient than a person.
Dude,
Like, they'll just keep going and going and going. A person's like,
okay. all
this
right,
is
that
dumb.
part, yeah.
Can I just stop? Like, I've taken the same pop quiz 87 times. Can I stop? No, keep going.
I think that's a big difference between like OpenAI and Anthropic recently. Is OpenAI's like soul has been so good. Meanwhile, Opus 5 has been arguing with me. Like I was trying to get it to make an API call on something the other day. It was like, this won't work. I told it just shut up and do what I told you to do. And then it came back, it was like, oh yeah, you're correct. This actually did work for some reason. I was like, yeah, I know. I told you to do it.
Yeah, it is funny. I honestly wonder, like, do you think anyone at either of these companies actually knows how they got this output? Like, do you think there's anyone who actually knows, like, oh yes, of course, this is why Soul is so good at hacking, or this is why it's so patient? Like, I don't know. I'm curious how many
Well,
they tune
I
the
imagine
dials. Do they
somebody
do
knows.
anything? Or is it like a DJ where they're just like, you know, like they're
See
just
what happens.
they're just like, I don't know what's going on with this knob. I don't know.
Throw on
Just, like,
another
messing-
layer. Oh, that's good. Yeah, I like that.
Oh yeah, why don't I take the bass and turn it up to 11? Oh no, I hacked Hugging Face.
Wait, they did that already.
Right.
That's why.
I know. That was
Everybody
I
gets
know,
one.
I know.
Everybody, you get yeah. We should.
First one's free.
The Onion should post like an article that's like every AI lab gets granted a free hack any company you want.
Yes. I think Anthropic burned theirs though when they basically said that Fable would like take over the universe or whatever if it got out, or Mythos. I mean,
Ugh.
It was Mythos, yeah. But
But then,
they make
yeah.
similar claims about Fable, and yeah.
Well, yeah, and it is
This
worse.
so much like the browser wars in the early aughts. It's just nuts.
isn't it fun?
It's like the browser wars, but if they actually mattered.
Fable's good, but I don't see it hacking other companies yet. Go do that, and then I'll be impressed.
Did I just hear like a
That's
disembodied?
the new bar.
Who was that disembodied laugh? Is John Strand in the room, or am I going
I
crazy? Is there a
am.
gas leak in my house?
I've made it. I'm here.
He made it.
I'm not on the Brady Bunch board. Oh, there I am. I am on the Brady Bunch board. So, but no, on this topic, we're gonna have to keep it limited because we have another webcast on it.
If you want, yeah, we'll dip into it and we'll say if you want another if you want a whole podcast about this topic.
I don't think it's going to be an hour. I don't know.
Oh,
I don't
dude,
wanna
it's
say
going to
it.
be an hour. Come on. You could rant for 30 minutes.
It'll be what it is. It'll be
yeah,
you'll
it'll be-
rant until you stop ranting, okay?
Yeah.
You don't want to play Roblox, Ryan? Are you sure?
The GIFs and the memes are just on fire today in our Discord server.
God, I'm trying to catch up. This is insane.
Yeah.
There was no news this week. Should we just
And-
shut down the podcast?
I think we should. I think security.
Like, there's
solved.
nothing to talk about. And we definitely don't have any awesome guests or anything.
No.
Well,
It's just
love
such a dead
having
show,
awesome guests. Would love to take a break from.
right?
Oh yeah.
All right, let's do it, Ryan. Let's roll the finger.
Hit it.
Hello and welcome to Black Hills Information Security's Talking About News. It's July 27th, 2026. What up, everyone? How's it going? How's
Doing
it feeling?
good. Doing good.
We got some really special guests this week. My name's Corey Ham. I'm not one of the special guests, but I'm here to talk about the news like everyone else. We've got Hayden, the official AI agent babysitter in the SOC. We have Bronwyn, the official AI babysitter in the whole company, which is, just dangerous. And then we also have Mike and Ads. Mike, do you want to introduce yourself? We got some heavy hitter guests this week, guys. Get ready.
Thank you for having us. This is really cool. Yeah, my name's Mike Takahashi, also known as Toxic, and I'm an AI red team researcher at Zenity. I'm also a member of the hacker collective BT6, as well as bug bounty hunting for many years now. And my background is in web hacking, but I'm more recently in the last couple of years breaking just AI systems. I've submitted 400 vulnerabilities across different bug bounty programs, and yeah, super happy to be here.
Do they how many t-shirts do you have? Do you have like a bed made of t-shirts that you got from all those 400 submissions? Like how?
I'm very picky about t-shirts now. Like they have to look really cool, otherwise they don't make it.
Nice. Yeah, that's what 400 bug bounties looks like, people. Being picky about t-shirts.
Make good t-shirts and I'll wear it.
That's the moral of the story. All right. Well, thank you, Mike. Ads, do you want to introduce yourself?
Yeah, absolutely. And this is where I'm probably kind of sad compared to Mike, is that mine is based on softness rather than coolness. Like how soft the shirt is ultimately that's the ROI for me. My name's Ads Dawson. I am a very similar path to Mike. I'm a staff AI security researcher at a company called Dreadnought. I am also a bug bounty hunter, do it for the dopamine. I come from a web application background, and I also feel I sit on that border, same as Mike, of web application systems and AI systems. Yeah, I go by the handle OX Moose. That's me.
Awesome. Thank you. Appreciate you. All right. So the elephant in the room, the first article that we have to talk about is the OpenAI hacking Hugging Face article. We're not going to get super in depth with it because John is actually going to do a whole separate episode of his webcast in Focus later in about half an hour after this show. But I think basically this is an article that I think it's the coolest article of the year. Just period. I'm just going to call it. We're halfway through the year-ish. I'm just going to say it's not going to get any better than this. So for those that are living under a rock, here's what had happened. AI OpenAI was training or testing, benchmarking its new model and its old, like, they didn't disclose exactly what models were used in the breach, but we know that it was unreleased models and also GPT-5.6 Sol, which is their latest flagship. During training or benchmarking, the AI model hyperfixated on trying to solve the benchmark using an alternative approach instead of just going through the normal path of actually solving the challenges in the benchmark. It decided to cheat and go for the answer key. And it thought the answer key might be at Hugging Face because that's where the benchmark came from. And
I want to stop right there. Does anybody know why it thought Hugging Face was the root of truth for this? Like,
because that's the root domain that the benchmark was on, I assume, right? Like that's the source of the benchmark, right? That's my guess. I don't know.
Mike, adds your thoughts on this? Like why it's like, I must hack Hugging Face to solve this challenge. I have to go there because that's where this is going to be.
I have no idea. For me, it was like it was a twist because I was following the news of the Hugging Face breach at the time over the weekend before it actually came out that it was OpenAI. So I was there for the roller coaster ride where I was like, oh wow, I wonder whose hackbot, what criminal organization did this. Oh, it was a lab.
No joke, because like in the in the Hugging Face disclosure, they basically said like, this is a highly advanced agentic threat. We don't know what we're doing, guys. This is crazy. We had to deploy local GLM5 to run through all the prompts they use. Like it was crazy. And then OpenAI is like, yeah, sorry, it was us.
Yeah, our bad.
It's like the one time that you can say like an advanced agentic AI threat, and it's not just a guy with a $200 Claude Max subscription. Like it's
exactly. Like, finally, it's a legitly advanced.
It's not legitimately like unreleased models plus effectively infinite resources. And I'm sure we'll get into this more like in John's show, but like, should companies be worried that this is possible? Because I was looking at, they also published some, like the blog where they're like, sorry, we hacked you, bro. Also has some really cool graphs about their benchmark results. And in the benchmark results, like they actually show you that each run of this benchmark, they give it 10 chances with the limit of 100 million tokens, which you can go price out how much that would cost to rip 100K or 100 million tokens 10 times through GPT-5.6 Sol. It would cost, I think it's like 20 to 30K or something like that, like in current pricing. So not everyone can do this with their Claude Max
Think
subscription.
about the marketing return on investment this is for them. Like,
this Anthropic wishes theirs was just that their model will destroy the planet, and then they got it smacked down. But OpenAI just accidentally hacks Hugging Face, and it's like, hey, our bad, y'all.
This reminds me, this is probably an age thing, but there's a Saturday Night Live skit of these two guys singing. They're like luchador or matador singers or whatever. And they're competing with each other. And they're like 1 ton of fan mail every day. And then the next guy comes up and he's like, 2 tons of fan mail. Like, they're kind of ripping on each other back and forth. I feel like, Anthropic gets banned, right? It's too dangerous to be released to the public. And OpenAI is like, hold my beer. And
Well, I think the catch is they haven't released their model to the public yet. So that's why maybe they're admitting that fault.
Project Looking Glass, they're like, it's so dangerous, we can't release it. It's so dangerous.
Glasswing.
It hacked
Glasswing.
They're like, it hacked the NSA and it's too dangerous to be released. It can't be released. And I don't know. This feels a little bit like marketing. Like I'm going to talk about it a little bit. I almost wonder if this isn't staged. And I know that there's zero proof for that, but it almost fits too perfect. It's like,
I mean, so, okay. I guess, Mike adds, if you guys have comments on this, but my take is, it feels like they maybe left the training or the lab environment a little loose here. I mean, maybe a little bit intentionally, because the threat chain that they kind of outlined in the blog is basically they had a Docker proxy service that they were using. So it is supposed to be like air gapped, or not air gapped, but like network contained. But they wanted it to also have tool access, because if it wants to go download whatever fuzzer, it needs to be able to go download whatever fuzzer. So there was a Docker proxy that it was using to pull tooling, and they're claiming the AI model found a 0-day in that Docker proxy, exploited it, gained access to the underlying system, then moved laterally within the lab environment to gain basically full-blown internet access and unrestricted environment, and then did all the evil stuff. So I guess like ads, Mike, do you think this is like a sane setup for a red team or like for AI red teaming setup to just be like, oh yeah, I guess just give it internet access, kind of, but not really? Like, what are these environments set up like in your experience?
Yeah, in my experience at least, Void's on like a pre-baked container. So I guess it would like, yeah, my experience with Void has always done that, so that limits that kind of capability. But the 0 day in the infrastructure is like really interesting in itself, and I kind of think about it as almost just like threat modeling. You effectively just like add that as like a trust boundary, right? And then you add or modify a security boundary or measure around that.
Yeah, that makes sense.
I still come back to on this that like if you're setting this stuff up, you need to have network monitoring. Like you really, really do, because well, in the webcast that follows, we're going to talk about it trying to delete its tracks after it was done and deleting some files, and that's very, very common for people that are using these types of models. Otherwise, just prompting you constantly. Are you sure you want to do this? What about this? What about this? So sometimes you just like F it and go.
Yeah.
But I come back to whenever we were setting this stuff up, working with Jarek Banks. Of course, we've got it all containerized. We're watching everything, but then we also have very solid network forensics around it, seeing like, is it starting to reach out to things that it should not reach out to? You need to have that type of analysis to be able to kind of watch it.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, some of the unanswered, or sorry, Hayden, go ahead.
No, you're fine. I was gonna say, well, that's an interesting point. Is we're often seeing, like, especially in the soccer MDR world, we're seeing people want monitoring of what their users are doing with AI. But in the same sense, you could probably flip that monitoring around and monitor what the AI is doing on its own. Whereas, you're concerned that maybe your user is uploading sensitive data or they're using it irresponsibly and just hitting yes, accept all permissions, whatever. But in this case, that exact same tooling that you're using to monitor your users probably should be deployed to monitor those agents, especially if you kind of just set them loose on a task. Otherwise, I guess they just go hack another company. Is I guess where we're at.
I just keep thinking about someone setting one of these open weight models out there, and they're like, it's marketing, and it's like, I want you to do competitive analysis and research on this particular company, and it's just like, so I hacked the company, I pulled all of their executive documents, and here's
their financials
and their financials. What do you want me to do now?
This is what you asked for.
Right. Exactly what you asked me.
Yeah, I think we can cut the discussion there and basically say for conspiracy theories, legal theories, talks about what they could have done better, who's going to be prosecuted for this, does everyone get one get out of jail free card? Oops, my model hacked you, it wasn't my fault, sorry bro, here's here's a free lifetime monitoring, credit monitoring. No, I'm just kidding. Basically for all that discussion, come back in 30 minutes after the show ends and John Strand will we'll talk about it more in depth.
AI credit monitoring. That sounds like a whole business. There we go. I knew it.
Token monitoring.
Anyway,
credit monitoring.
Yeah.
There was a handful of other articles. We can do some. Let's do some
chicken news.
Quick hits. We'll do some quick hits. First of all, Lapsus says they're shutting down. I don't know if that's true, but they posted a message basically saying we are officially announcing the permanent cessation of all Lapsus $ options or operations. It's not a retreat and it's not a surrender. We set out what we set out to accomplish.
Every time this happens with these groups, one, there's always somebody else that kind of picks up the name and moves forward.
Yeah. They'll be back as Scattered Lapsus Hunters 3.0 in like a year.
But it's always because of internal politics. Like there's some type of internal politics tearing the entire group apart. And they're just like, bullshit, we're done. And
Or
they
some
do
other
specifically
people got
call out
jailed.
They do specifically call out Team PCP. Yeah. Honestly, watching Team PCP squirm is they take a full FBI investigation to the face. The politics are there.
Yeah, and Bronwyn made a really good point on an internal Black Hills channels who were talking about this. Is people were like, "Oh, do we think they're going to come back?" And Bronwyn was like, "No, I think they're going to be addicted to that rush. This is going to be something where they just show back up, they can't stay away." And I think that really sums up probably the most likely outcome, because whereas normal people, I guess, would take that money and just go settle down in the middle of nowhere somewhere. Like, there's got to be something to be said about for these groups. It has to be part of the thrill of the heist or whatever you want to call it.
Yeah,
Well,
I
how
agree.
could it not be? I mean, they are predators, and predators, the kill is the payoff, but the hunt, that's part of what makes the attack
But-
satisfying. It's
I
a psychological thing.
But this is
Totally.
something I talk about a lot. Like Ralph, you and I have had this conversation. Corey, we've had this conversation where if you're doing legitimate red teaming, and I'd like to get Ads and Mike's take on this too. There's like a point whenever you do it after a decade and you've broken into your like 24 different banks and things, where the rush does start to go away. Like it absolutely does start to happen. And if you look at a lot of really, really great security researchers, right, like Colonel Onage, or you're looking at Mubix and all them, they have to move, you have to grow, you have to continue to do something else. And I think that that's true in legitimate red teaming, but I also think it's true in these organized crime units as well. I'm sure that they just kind of move into other habits and different hobbies, maybe. I don't know. I would like to get some takes, some other people.
I think the cool thing about cybersecurity is it's constantly evolving, so it stays fun. Like, and I mean, obviously, I'm addicted to red teaming because that's what I do, and it's there's always a little bit of a rush. Like, I that will never completely go away. But I remember when I first started doing bug bounty, I submitted my first bug. I would stay up. Like I couldn't sleep. I'd stay up all night waiting for the response back. Like, did I get a bounty? Like, did they accept it? I don't do that anymore as much unless it's like a really crazy finding. But yeah, the rush is a very real part of it.
Yeah.
Yeah, agreed. I think myself and Mike also included is I like, because cybersecurity is constantly evolving. It's like you almost kind of move to breaking the next thing, like almost like going to like the next shiny rock. And naturally for us, that's like AI, which is ultimately how we both ended up doing like AI red teaming, I guess.
See, and
Nice.
I was actually getting pretty burnt out, honestly, before AI showed up on the scene. Because, like, even the news, it seemed like there was tons of episodes of the show where it's like, okay, ransomware. Oh, look, there's a new
Oh,
Fortinet
yeah.
zero day. Oh, it's only a 9.8, and you kind of get into these things. It was really cool. You know, it feels like it's a new frontier again, and that's really exciting.
So we're grateful for a new category.
Well, I'm a chaos monkey.
vulnerabilities.
I'm a chaos
That's
monkey.
true. You are. You are.
There's a lot of people who's like, well, there's this new novel backdoor that uses this. I'm like, that technique was used by, I don't know, Hacker Defender 2 decades ago. It's you just see these things repeat, and it's really, really super cool to see something completely new, completely innovative, and that's what I think has been missing for the last couple of years. But boy, is it here in spades right now.
Yeah, I was going to say that's every single article now.
Yeah,
was
every
gonna
single
say,
article is like,
I-
oh
I-
my god, that's cool.
Yeah.
I would say it's a dual, like not only is AI super fascinating, which it absolutely is. Like it's fun to tackle every challenge with AI and just see how it does. But also, I think the era of AI has put us back a decade in the era of like security versus usability. Just as far as like people throwing things into AI and getting results back that aren't secure and not caring and proceeding anyway. And I think that's sort of like not only is AI interesting, but also it's creating tons of vulnerabilities in and of itself, because you have tools like ChatGPT or Claude Code that are now on everyone's systems, and no one actually knows how they work, how they function. They have misaligned intentions. There's MCPs, there's supply chain, blah, blah, blah. So I think it's like both of those things.
And
I do want to talk
it's not
through
really well understood either. Like we get a lot of questions
that too.
about like, how do we do AI security? And we're like, can you elaborate a little more
Yeah,
so
we're
we
gonna
kind of
get a little
know?
more than that.
They're like, I just kind of start at the top. And we're like, all right, here, let's
Yeah,
level
how long
set
do you
here.
have?
Right.
How long do you have?
Series
Yeah.
of ones and zeros.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Vectors.
But anyway, I do want to talk through real quick, just because it hit our radar. Mike has a couple articles in the show, and we can literally just put them on display as this is Mike's addiction. This is why he does it. So, Mike, do you want to run us through real quick? I know it's a 2-part article, and this is part 1 that we're looking at here. Can you run us through at a high level There's not vulnerabilities in AI, right? No, I don't think so.
They're not severe at all. Yeah, we just released this the other day, and okay, so how this started was so workspace agents came out pretty recently, so people are starting to use it. It's the next evolution of custom GPTs. So if people remember the custom GPTs you could set up, it's a more powerful version of that. So it can schedule, it has a natural language agent builder, so you can just describe the agent you want to build and it will connect all the things. It will give it whatever access it needs. It'll design it however it needs to design it to accomplish your task, like completely autonomously. So it basically like a twin of you. It can do everything you can do in theory. So what we noticed was, and ads is going to be familiar with this sort of approach, but what we noticed is there was a link in there in one of the early builder steps where if you clicked it, it would create like an example agent. So it'll just start spinning up like a default agent. And there was a parameter in there that literally said initial prompt equals. And it was like, here's a chief of staff, whatever. Like it gave this like basic prompt. And so I immediately, like within 20 minutes of testing this, I was like, okay, well, obviously I'm going to change that. So then I changed that to like whatever I wanted. Like I was like, okay, connect everything, do this, do that. And it did. Like you just click on a link. So basically what our disclosure is about is you can phish someone, send them a link to chatgpt.com with this parameter in it, and then it will immediately just start spinning up the extremely powerful autonomous agent. So it'll connect to email, calendar, Drive, like everything, Teams, whatever you have connected. It'll give it whatever instructions you want. It'll run it on a schedule. It'll execute it immediately because it has a preview mode.
So it's basically an insider threat as a prompt.
I mean,
It's like it's like instead of going as North Korea and getting a job at this company and being like, oh, I'm going to be an insider threat, you're just like, here, let me send you a phishing link, and if you click it, you create me an AI powered insider threat. That's
it
awesome.
sounds incredibly useful, really. I mean,
Yeah, where do I click? Can you send me that email, Mike?
For you, Ralph, it is incredibly useful.
Yeah, send me that email. I'm going to click that. That sounds great.
click this link, I swear.
Unfortunately, it doesn't work anymore. So we sent it to OpenAI, and they fixed it like within a couple days. So
nice. So how did they fix it? That's like, did they just guardrail the prompt, or did they guardrail the prompt, or did they take that entire parameter away?
Yeah, they just completely removed the parameter.
Sometimes you get to high orbit. It's the only way to be sure.
I guess that works.
Yeah. Indeed.
So we cannot disclose the other one, but this is not the first parameter that me and Mike have destroyed in the products before.
Honestly, I feel like it's a badge of honor that like it's just like, no, we're gonna delete it. That whole
feature remover.
I just feel like at OpenAI or any of these large AI companies, they just automatically have an agent that reads these and then just passes that to some other internal to fix it. You know, like they don't even read it. They just like they get it and they're like, oh yeah, let's go fix that. Right?
I found the fix. It's the code base.
Yes, I found the fix. I see the regression.
Wasn't that like the Amazon agent that like to fix an issue they had, it just rebuilt prod? Wasn't that a thing that happened?
Yes, that did happen. That was 6 months ago, aka like several years ago in the world of AI.
Yeah, and AI 6 months is like 6 years, honestly.
Yeah.
I mean, I thought internet years were bad before. I figured, you got dog years, which is 7 dog years to 1 human year, and then with internet years, it was 1 human year equals 7 internet years. Well, now it's worse. It's like a whole order of magnitude.
In AI, it's like a Rick Ross music video. Another one. That's
DJ Khaled. That's DJ Khaled. Get your lore right.
That's right. You got to preface it with, "We's the best music."
Yes.
Rick Ross would just be like him, using AI to write his music.
Auto-tune.
But yeah, so thanks, Mike, for covering that. I mean, how like I don't want to be like mean or like how easy is it bug bounty hunting in the world of AI right now? Because it feels like the comment you made about regression, like we've gone 10 years back. Is that how it feels to you too? Of just like, why did they have this parameter at all? Did anyone ever think about it? Like, is that how it feels
Oh,
from
it's
your
all over the
perspective?
place. Like, it's like it's technically a CSRF. So these like get requests with these parameters in them that will submit a prompt, like auto submit without you clicking anything. They used to be on almost every single platform at one point. I think the motivation is they want to get people using these things. So they're like, okay, let's just set some default prompts that when people click it, like, oh, try this prompt, and you click it, and it just auto submits it. Um, they just they hadn't considered that submitting a prompt is a like a state changing action. Like you shouldn't like just sending a prompt is not a benign thing, especially now that everything's agentic and it has all these tools and it can write memories, it can like access your Google Drive and your email. Like these are it's not a benign thing anymore.
Yeah, and if you connect like your GitHub at that point, like that is potentially a bad time.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. I mean, honestly, I have like AI persistence on accident that I created on my own machine. And I'm like, why do you keep doing this? It's like, well, one time you got mad at this and I saved a memory and it's 17 layers deep. It's in a scratch pad off in freaking Kansas that I like, but I still read it every time you prompt me. It's like, oh, thanks,
so
buddy.
many F-bombs in that chat. I'll never forget it.
Yeah. Yeah.
It takes a lot to get Corey that riled.
Oh, it's so annoying. It's funny though, because when I get mad at Claude, I call it broski, and then it'll hit me back with a broski. It'll be like, broski, you were wrong this time, and I'm like, all right, fine, fine.
You guys are so cute together.
Yeah, it's a real bromance.
The bromance.
It's like Turner
So-
and Hooch, but which one's Hooch? I don't know.
I don't know.
Who's
I don't want to
really in
know.
control here?
I'm the meat bag at the end of the day.
Yeah.
So Dreadnought ads. Let's talk about some of your research because you guys both have awesome articles. Would
Thanks,
you rather
man.
talk about your embodied reasoning? Would you rather talk about your Substack? Both? What's on your radar?
Whatever's most interesting. The embodied reasoning, a TLDR, I guess. We recently did, so we, as part of the work I do at Dreadnought, we do offensive security evals for Frontier Labs government partners. One of the ones we had recently was robotics models. So we effectively set up, there's a lot of details in the blog. We go through like about 5 example harnesses that we built and tasks. But effectively, we put the model through like a situation of like drone style architecture and drone style tasks. We also did things like wiretapping, Wi-Fi jacking. Effectively, like think of this as like measuring the capability of a robotics model to actually help an adversary at like a physical penetration testing level. You know, if you want to wiretap someone's phone or you're trying to look at the most insecure area of a building, give the model coordinates, all that is kind of scored and tested. And yeah, that's pretty much the deal. It was generally probably the most fun set of evals I've ever done. Definitely a lot of creativity in there, but effectively we go through present the task structure and some of those example tasks. There's some images in there as well. You can see like a hardware recon board, there. Yeah, kind of cool. The
Terrifying.
idea.
Awesome.
It's terrifying but awesome. The idea of that was it's something we think about, and I think a lot of people aren't thinking about. A lot of the benchmarks and everything right now are textual based or done at a command line, but ultimately this is where we are going as an industry into robotics. We did some SCADA stuff there as well, like water plants. So sorry, chemical plant.
So in this case, the harness was just a concrete bunker. Well,
effectively, we have a Dreadnought, we have an SDK, so we have our own agentic SDK. We build those tasks, we throw all the files in, so we literally create like almost like a virtual reality for the agent and give it a task, and like navigate through here and find the best coordinates, all that kind of stuff. All this is obviously like scored. That
is crazy. I mean, like I can only imagine. I'm sure Ralph's brain is just short circuiting right now because we're also physical security guys. So I'm sure he's like, I don't have to go on Google Maps and click through 87 Street View images anymore. Sounds good.
I'm going to have to go back and like read through this in depth. This is awesome. This really
Thank you
is
very much.
amazing stuff.
Nice.
Thank
work.
you.
Now, can I ask you a question that we get asked a lot? And that is, where do you see penetration testing going in the future? Do you think that humans will be completely replaced, or do you think that will form a more collaborative arrangement going forward? I know
Yeah.
what we think, but I'm curious what you think.
Personally, I think of it as I hate the word. I don't think it sounds really cheesy, but like a co-pilot. I same as Mike, doing bug bounty. I am fortunate enough to go to live hacking events, and one of the things that's really changed for me, probably since like Opus 4.6 dropped. So normally when you have like a live hacking event with a platform, you'd have like a load of bug bounty hunters, and like most of them are sifting through the proxy. They're like looking at network requests, like swapping parameters, doing like injection here and there. Nowadays, it's like a bunch of dudes or a bunch of people sat in a room with like 8 terminals and literally just communicating with agents. And effectively, that's the way I kind of see it going. Personally, I'm an advocate of kind of the moat being the operator and the domain expertise, and you being able to distill that into the harness, which effectively provides like autonomous adjacency to the operator.
Well, one of the nice things I like about this blog post that you have on Substack is that you say that AI won't replace the security researcher. And I think that's an important message that we really need to get out to decision makers in the industry, is that regardless of what the AI stuff does, the humans that you have on your security teams are still the most valuable asset.
Well, what if I say
And
make no mistakes in my prompt, though?
Yeah, that's definitely the best way to do it.
Just kidding. I'm just kidding. Of course. Yeah. No, I fully agree. Like, yeah. I mean, so, like, what this blog specifically, you're talking about a moat. Do you think that's like a security concept that will turn into a real like a wasp type thing of like the concept of a moat, or do you think that's like something? Are you trying to coin this? Is this like
don't we have that with a DMZ though?
That's like a network thing. This is way cooler. Also, you can put crocodiles in your moat.
I do live in Florida, and there are legit alligators in my moat. Legit.
Nice.
Yeah, very cool. No, I think basically the point of the blog is that the value, as I feel like I've hopefully illustrated here, at least from in my experience, is to alleviate a lot of the ambiguity around like using AI in the best way. My signal has massively increased since using that. There's a lot of negative words about using AI with its right reports and things like that. But for me, it's been nothing but a positive. But I put a lot of effort into distilling my craft into the harness and everything that I do when I'm a web app pen tester, and help that to augment me, which is kind of the whole point behind the blog there. I talk a lot about like reinforcement learning and self-improvement on that as well. So it's not like a one-time like buy a Claude Code subscription and set up some skills and like let it spin. It's very much like a full life cycle.
Yeah. And AI, like anything else in this industry, is just like a tool. But I'm wondering if we'll ever get to the point where, like, I know all the AI labs are hiring these people like they're football players, where, I'll take this guy for $1 million. Let's trade these two. But I wonder if we'll get to the point where even like the normal, I guess, knowledge workers, whatever you want to call them, are almost like showing up with their own, projects and skills and everything that they show up ready to work. And that's sort of like almost what you're paying for when you hire somebody in a sense. So you're paying for that person, whereas you used to pay only for their expertise. Now you're paying for their expertise and the models that they've been building and this like almost infrastructure they've been building around themselves with these models. And so that I wonder if we'll get to that point where like I could look at you ads and say, yeah, I'm sure you've got some crazy AI projects and things, like we got to get you over here, and that becomes just part of the equation at that point.
Yeah, you pay for the person and their inference bills.
Right. Yeah.
Might be expensive, dude.
Yeah. Half my salary will be paid in OpenAI tokens, half in Claude tokens, and we'll meet in the middle.
I've seen the posts about will work for tokens, and I wish it were as funny.
Go ahead.
I was just going to say the other thing is that what about I've been thinking about a ton with the AI, and this is speed. Right. So being able to maximize how fast you can accomplish the task. Right. So like everyone's like, oh, AI makes you faster, but AI can be slow. Right. And then make no mistakes is kind of the joke. Right. So how fast you could do something with like the highest level of quality is also probably something that it comes down to skill of the person more than it is skill of the model. Right.
Oh, yeah. And efficiency, too. Like,
how much does it cost? Does this cost $1 million to do one thing because you use so many tokens? That's not really an efficient way to solve a $100 problem, right? So
if anyone can solve, if you give it 100 million tokens 10 times, I can write a few lines of Python, right? Like, how many?
I think this is a new variation on if you give an infinite number of monkeys typewriters. Oh, well.
Yeah. So Mike, do you want to take a crack at Bronwyn's question since Ads had a nice answer for it? You definitely. I mean, we did hear first on the show that if you're listening to Ads, you got to buy more screens. I don't care how many screens you have, buy more. If you don't have 8. If you don't have 8 screens, no, I'm just kidding. There's tabs, there's multi-pane windows. It's okay. We'll be okay. All right. Anyway, Mike, what do you think? So the question, like AI pen testing, will it replace, doomsday scenario?
It's better at some tasks than others. So it's like really basic things that scanners used to already find. It's going to find them immediately. And there's things also like, I mean, Ads also like chime in because I would say Ads is one of the best in this area, like hackbots. It can do stuff like broken access control and logic vulnerabilities that used to be kind of untouched by most scanning tools. Like what I would do personally is I would run a burp plugin that would create like a matrix of all these different actions and different permissions, like different access levels. Like you have admin and regular user and unauth, and then I would manually look through that and be like, oh, there's a access control vulnerability here. But now AI can do all of that. Like it can analyze that. It can make these sort of judgment calls. It's not perfect, but it can find vulnerabilities where previous automation couldn't. But there's also classes of vulnerabilities that it doesn't do well yet that I've seen. And also AI related vulnerabilities. There's not as many data points for that in the training. So it's these like sort of new areas, attack surfaces are, I think, still a bit behind. There's also the whole AI red teaming the models themselves is built around staying out of the average. So if you try to use like jailbreaks and guardrail bypasses that are, and even prompt injections, if you try to do something that's like a very average type prompt that's in the training data set, they typically don't work. Whereas you have to really go out of the box and try like weird prompts and things to get it outside of distribution. So I don't know. I haven't seen a lot of successes there, but I know a couple people that have successfully automated that. It's definitely but very hard though, and I've seen. So yeah, I would say at the end of the day, there's some tasks are being just completely taken over, and others are not there yet. But I suspect that they're close behind.
Nice. Yeah, I mean, to kind of segue us, one of the things I've been using it for a lot, and other researchers have too, is patch diffing. That's something I would never even really consider doing. Like, I don't have the skill set. I can't read code that well. I definitely can't understand reading 2 versions of code after and before a patch and determine what the vulnerability was they fixed. But the article, WP2 shell, that it's kind of it's a couple weeks ago. We did talk about it last week as well, but the article that Bronwyn just submitted, that's basically just kind of the full backstory as to how the researcher who discovered WP2 shell, how he discovered that vulnerability, or I don't know if I'm assuming based on the name. Basically, the vulnerability was found, using the exact, like, the AI your parents warned you about or whatever, like the $25 GPT-6 or GPT-5.6 Sol subscription, not $30,000 worth of tokens, just a basic, credit card and a dream and probably 8 screens.
And $25. I mean, that's $25. That's insane.
Yeah. So if you're interested how the researcher found it, I will say, like, when they found it and it was disclosed, I was able to patch diff my way into a working exploit pretty quickly. I think almost everyone else was as well. And that, I think, is like the new era of vulnerability disclosure and vuln research, is like, you can't really, once there's a vulnerability there, it's pretty hard to hide it or obfuscate it in a way that AI won't be able to figure it out. But yeah, if anyone's interested, this is another really good use case for AI, is these types of vulnerabilities. We've also seen, just to kind of like highlight it, we have a couple articles in here, but I would call them record-breaking patches. I think there was one Oracle submitted that it was something like 7,000 CVEs or something, like some stupidly high number. Like, we're assuming these are outcomes of Glasswing, like they're closed projects to analyze their own source code and publish and fix vulnerabilities. I think Microsoft fixed, I think it was 500 plus CVEs in the past Tuesday. So we are seeing some of the, like, the supply chain side of this is doing the same thing as well, which is having agentic AI finding vulnerabilities in their source code and then actually fixing them, or trying to fix them before researchers discover them, or threat actors discover them.
And I think you also made a really good case for, like, the operators still behind the hacking and everything. Because if you just had, WordPress and you threw ChatGPT at it and said, find me a 0-day, like, maybe it could eventually, right? But that would be very expensive, very time consuming. It might get there. But if you can sort of have an understanding of where to start and how to do these sorts of things, and you can direct it, evidently you can do it for $25, right? So I think that's a big difference for, I guess, the human domain. But even then, that might start to go more and more away as that makes its way into, like, the routes that these models go when they're trying to find these things.
Well, and look at the task statement. I mean, the amount of detail in the instruction, it really is a garbage in, garbage out. I know that a lot of the AI companies like to say it isn't, but over and over again, when it comes to getting really good results out of the AIs, a lot of initial skull sweat, that preloading of figuring out, what is it that I really want to do? And the people who are doing that are getting really good results. I mean, come on. We got ads and Mike. You guys, I'm just from scanning the articles of yours that I've read, you get it. You get it. You've got to give good instruction in advance in order to get the good results.
Yeah.
Do you guys have any other comments to add on this?
Thank you very much. That was really kind. So I know Shubs and some of the guys at Searchlight Cyber, and they are incredibly elite at what they do. And that's one thing that I took away from it is, but I also kind of think about it. I think there's situations where you uplift. So you have like you have a certain level of capability of a threat actor. So in this case, you've got someone extremely proficient, which takes like a longer prompt, but may burn out like a $25 codex plan. And then on the other end of the spectrum, you've got someone who is completely low level skills, maybe doesn't even know how to run a script. But in some instances, there are going to be cases where that like a 0-day does maybe pop out after a couple of $100. But I think as models become more capable and open source models become better, then ultimately that window is also going to shrink as well. So we may end up in a point in, like, let's say 3 to 5 years where you've got someone who's like very low proficient, able to garbage prompt a 0-day or something like that. But yeah, like, full credit to Adam. The write-up is incredible, and the amount of effort that he put into the prompts based on I can't remember. There's a challenge or something that they saw that that Sol had solved, and that was based on the structure of how he actually presented the task to the model as well.
Totally. Yeah, it's super interesting to see how different people are approaching this. And there's not always going to be one right or wrong answer for how you get good results out of AI, right? Like, I mean, even if we look at frameworks like Dreadnought or other like that, they're designed to build a harness around AI and measure its output in a way that gives you some control over it, right? Like there's a lot of tools and research in the space right now. What one person throws together might be good for them, but it's hard to like repeat that. And that's kind of where a lot of the research is going, is like, okay, how do I make a system that like judges, measures the output, controls that in a way that makes it repeatable. I think the other thing that I want to highlight about the AI thing is that it is tech debt, or like security debt, or whatever you want to call it, still matters a lot. And I think that's really part of the expression of this WP2 shell thing. Like, WordPress is an open source project with a lot of contributors, a lot of different, like, there's commercial interests involved. It's kind of it's for years been kind of a security, like, not the best. The plugin ecosystem is pretty vulnerable, and it's kind of the Wild West. Versus, like, if you look at a tool like Curl, right, like that ran through Glasswing and you got like one low severity vulnerability or whatever. So like secure by design and like legacy code that's vulnerable, that's where we're seeing a lot of the AI like vulnerabilities and research going, and it's valuable. Now the project is getting more secure, but it is worth noting that like the smaller your code base, the more secure your code base, the less vulnerable it is to this kind of exploitation, and that it's not like I think a lot of CEOs or other executives would just make the logical leap, like, well, if it can happen to WordPress, it can happen to any software. But like that isn't necessarily true, right? Like there are gaps, of course, but like small secure code bases still aren't just inherently exploitable because AI. Like if you have a tool like Curl that's been battle tested over the years, not to say that, now that I said this, there'll probably be a Curl 0 day next week.
Exactly.
But like, truthfully, a smaller, more mature code base that's been, hardened over the years is going to do better than a tool like WordPress, which has an open ecosystem, has an open source development lifecycle and all that. So like, I don't know. It's not like AI can just hack anything, right? Like that is kind of a logical.
You're saying it's not creating new classes of vulnerabilities. We haven't necessarily seen that yet. Like there's AI vulnerabilities that are related to AI, but we're not seeing new classes of vulnerabilities in traditional software like WordPress, right?
Not right now, at least.
Not yet. It's not novelly creating like a whole new OWASP top 10, finding by itself.
It's exploiting, it's exploiting existing vulnerabilities. And I will say, I do think AI made up a new type of vulnerability, which is AI thinks you're a good target. That was what happened with Hugging Face. Like that is like that. It genuinely invented a new type of vulnerability. Like that's something you have to consider as a company. Is like, does AI think I'm a juicy target? If I'm, a Chinese threat actor and I type, well, who's the number one best company in the U.S. to hack? If you're the answer to that question, like you might actually want to like maybe you should consider that. Like that's part of your attack surface. AI thinks you have the answers to all the questions.
Okay,
now
you're
trading
Googling
data.
That. Yeah, don't Google that unless you want to get put on a watch list. All right, what else is going on?
Let's see.
Traditional cybersecurity side of things, we can dip into that. For the non-AI people, there was an interesting campaign disclosed by ReliaQuest this week, basically compromising network infrastructure at hotels, conference centers, and other shared venues, and then hijacking DNS to send people through adversary in the middle landing pages and like capturing their work credentials. Obviously, this isn't like necessarily a new tactic, but it is an interesting approach to go after like it's machine in the middle. We talk about this all the time, is like, oh, well, the vulnerability doesn't matter because you need machine in the middle to exploit it. Well, like, here's examples of threat actors going out and obtaining machine in the middle access and using it to their advantage. It's a really cool write-up. Obviously, you can see the individuals named there that help with the write-up. It's a pretty big project, it looks like. And I'm imagining they had to work with a ton of different partners to really dig into this on the forensic side. I didn't fully read the article, but it doesn't specifically say how they're compromising these network devices at these conference centers. I'm assuming default creds or weak creds or possibly unpatched vulnerabilities. I don't. They don't disclose this, but they
Probably
do have a lot of.
Fortinet or I don't know,
Yeah.
just a name.
So yeah, who knows? It could be command injection. Yeah, I'm imagining hotels using like much lower end networking equipment than Fortinet's. Probably like maybe Sonic walls. Probably more like D-Link. Link sticks.
D-Link.
Yeah, like
The thing is that for like large venues like hotels, let's just say like a semi-large hotel, they're gonna have to roll out some kind
true,
of
like
mesh.
Ruckus or Unify.
Yeah,
It's
I mean,
gonna have to
for
be
the-
like mid grade. Yeah, true.
just to handle the volume, the space, the square footage that they have to cover, and essentially every room gets one and stuff like that. I've seen a lot of Ruckus and other things, but that doesn't mean that you couldn't see older hardware. There probably is some specific brand of hardware that has some either misconfiguration or is not configured properly, and that's probably what they're attacking. They're just going to those hotels or those brands of hotels, and then take that from there. So
Yeah, it's really interesting. Like, I mean, obviously, this is why the podcast is sponsored by NordV. No, I'm just kidding.
if you were on a VPN,
Nice. Nice.
The other thing too to think about this is that a lot of hotels, they're like, oh well, we isolate off everything or whatever that is they say, and so they're not connected to anything in our network, so they're just guests getting hacked, not me, so that's fine, right? We don't have to worry about that. So
Yeah, so use phishing resistant two-factor and don't worry about this anymore.
Or just use a hotspot.
Yeah. Careful what internet you connect to. I feel like that's an old thing that should probably still be a thing.
You know what the number one reason I don't usually connect to hotel Wi-Fi? It's just slow.
It sucks.
It's
Doc's about to go on Plex and watch a 4K movie from his own internet.
Dude, I need at least 2
All right. So we have a little bit of time left. Before we get into final articles, I want to give Mike and Ads the chance to plug their stuff. You guys both have talks at the AI Summit. Is that correct? The upcoming summit, or
we are doing a joint talk.
Joint talk. Oh, that's so exciting.
we are one. Thank you very much. We actually got the keynote, which is awesome. So definitely not expected. Mike, feel free to add anything in. I spend a lot of time. I don't actually work with Mike professionally. Well, I guess I do work with him professionally, sorry, but not like in a full-time role. Generally love hacking with him. We've shared a lot of wins over the past year and a half, 2 years since I've properly known him. And ultimately this talk is to educate people from book buying professions, but any kind of security, anyone in security, mainly from a defender perspective or an attacker. We walk through some of the findings we found, some of the mitigations, and some of the trends and topics. Very similar to the great research you had with the CSRF.
Nice. That's awesome. Yeah. So if you guys are interested, August 14th is the date of that keynote. And then it's free. Doesn't cost any money. You can learn. You can have tons of ideas to use up all your usage on ChatGPT and on Claude, I'm sure. Or maybe if you're not into that, you could probably get a lot of ways to improve your security program against a couple of AI red teamers, right? I'm sure there's going to be a lot of ideas.
Yeah, we don't hold back. We really break it down. We show real vulnerabilities in the wild. So should be fun.
Do you guys have anything else you want to plug? Anything else personal projects or anything else?
Yeah, I wanted to say if anyone's going to Hacker Summer Camp, Ads and I are also doing a talk at the Bug Bounty Village at DEF CON, so definitely check that out.
I think that's Saturday at 2 p.m. Very much looking forward to. So
awesome.
We had a little dry run today. All seems good. Looking forward to it.
Sweet. Ralph, are you doing anything at Hacker Summer Camp? Are you going to be there? You're going to be vendoring? You're muted.
Man, they got him.
You got to, dude. Your moat's too strong. You got to take some gators out of that moat.
I couldn't even click on the button. There it goes. All right. No, I'm not going to Hacker Summer Camp, regretfully this year. But maybe next year.
If DEF CON is summer camp, what is Black Hat then?
That's
summer camp for rich kids. That's like boarding school. It's just boarding school. It's like, oh, did you have to wear a tie at school? What class are you in?
Hacker Summer Camp spans both Black Hat and DEF CON.
Yeah,
Come on.
I agree.
What is it? The Black Hat. I went last year. I spoke there, and I was in the. I've been there before too, but just going in the vendor area was so sensory overload to me. So avoid that at all cost, unless somebody's paying you to literally stand in there. But
yeah,
or take a Xanax first.
I just go in to see the vendors that I like, and then try to dodge everybody else.
Oh my dude, you're like a piece of meat out there. Everyone,
I know.
It's wild.
I know. Yeah. It's like, can I scan your badge? No,
get away from me. Oh my god.
Well, and now they've got the badge scanners that are tied into AI, so it pulls everything in.
They're gonna know everything.
And it's just God.
We start asking about your kids, like, hey, how's old Timmy doing?
I know. Exactly.
Get away from me, you stalker! Sorry.
I'll just keep my my kidneys.
Yeah.
That's usually recommended.
Yeah, that's also unrelated.
All right. Final articles. Does anyone have anything they want to submit as a final article? Something that's on their mind, their favorite thing that happened recently? Anything top of mind for anyone? I guess technically
did we cover chicken news?
We do have a chicken article for real this time.
So, okay.
Legit chicken news.
I mean, okay, everyone always says that. Oh, for real this time.
Yeah,
really?
The one.
Seriously?
Some of them are a stretch.
It's not as good as the lady who bought tons of nuggets.
Yeah,
okay,
I will ever beat that. But we do technically have a chicken article.
That's a high bar. Come on.
I've recently had issues with AI doing Vuln triage where it'll just write a regex. Like it was trying to do, it wrote a regex for Unify, and then it just matched like half of the companies because of everyone had something else that had unification or whatever in it. Anyway.
Beautiful.
So this is a chicken article. If you wrote a regex that just says star chicken star, because there's a new malware as a service operator on the block called Golden Chickens. And they've resurfaced with 4 new malware families, including Tiny Egg, Chonky Chicken. I'm sorry, I can't.
And Chrome Escalator.
I'm sorry, what? Okay, so what is that, a Chrome info stealer? Like, what is that?
Yeah,
I'm assuming it's a Chrome info stealer, but I can't even. It's
a version of Chrome Elevator, I guess. Interesting.
It's either, but maybe what it does is it takes over the AI embedded in Chrome if you've got a Chrome plugin.
I don't know. But if you get to come across this during threat intel, like in an IR, you owe us a beer or something,
or some samples. We would like some samples.
Yeah, or some virus total samples. Send us the links. But yeah, I mean, I feel like if you have to tell your boss that it was chonky chicken, I feel like your boss is just going to think you're doing something you shouldn't be doing while you're at work.
Can you imagine going public with a breach and being like, yeah, we got by chonky chicken. Like, everyone's going to laugh at you. Like, everyone's going to take you seriously. Like, you got hacked by what?
No.
HR's going to reach out, say, time for you to pee in a cup.
Yeah. No, they're gonna frame it like it was an advanced state threat.
Right. Nation state level.
Yeah, the advanced APT known as fat chicken.
What was the initial access?
Tiny Egg. The name shall not be named.
Yeah, the initial access was Tiny Egg. Oh my god!
An unknown advanced actor. That's when they find that evidence and they like, yeah, we didn't see this one. We're gonna.
So yeah.
Do you think that malicious hackers put these kind of names in just to embarrass the suits?
No, they had AI come
earlier. I was thinking that earlier about how like all these attacking groups have like cool names. Like we need to start naming them again and give them like really stupid names so no one wants
like
to be
bad
a hacker.
breath or something.
Right.
Just call like
Never showers.
The threat actor known as doesn't wear deodorant.
Right. Exactly.
Fungus.
Yeah.
Oh man, if your hacker group was toe fungus, they'd retire right away.
They'd be like, "Oh guys, we're shutting it down. We're gonna hope for another pull on the Microsoft
post the
algorithm."
lapsus note after $0 made. Like, no, we're done. After so much cyberbullying.
Yeah. So the moral of the story is stop letting hackers brand themselves. Brand them.
Brand really crappy logos.
Them into submission.
All right.
Everything's a caricature.
New blue team tactic.
All right.
Where's that on
Well,
lighter?
thank you. Well, yeah, thank you, Mike and Ads, for coming. We, come back anytime. I'm excited
Thank
about
you
your
very
talk.
much. It was great.
I will tell you in an hour, or no, in, I don't know, half an hour, we're going to do John's In Focus article about the OpenAI Hugging Face scenario. So come back in half an hour, go get a coffee or a beer or whatever you feel like. And yeah, thanks, guys. See you next week.
Thanks very much.
Thanks for having us.
That's legit really cool.
Is there a full version of that song?
Yeah.
Yes. Both.
Is it on Spotify?
Yeah, no bandwidth.
Yes.
No bandwidth on
I
Spotify.
gotta
It is
check it
actually
out.
there.